Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We were discussing the chapter Light, Shadows and Reflection, in which we have studied about the shadows and also the color of the light, and light travels in straight line. We have discussed many things. Now we will study about a pinhole camera. What is a pinhole camera? A pinhole camera is used to see distant objects like a tree or a building or a solar eclipse. It is based on the principle that light travels in straight lines. Now and it forms a image, inverted and small image of the object. Now we shall discuss the method to create a pinhole camera. To create a pinhole camera, what you need is take a medium size cardboard box and color the inside of the box with black paint or color. With the help of the needle, make a tiny hole on one side of the cardboard box. Cut out a rectangular portion of the side of the cardboard box opposite to the one on which pinhole was made. Now cover this rectangular hole with ground glass or a butter paper sheet. Stick the paper sheet with the adhesive tape. This paper sheet serves as a screen. Now our pinhole camera is ready to see the image. Place a candle on a table and light it with a matchstick. Place the pinhole camera a few inches away from the lighted candle with the side having the pinhole facing the candle. Move the pinhole camera forward and backward so that you can get a clear image of the candle flame on the screen. You will see an inverted and small image of the candle. The image formed by the pinhole camera is always inverted, means upside down. If you increase the size of the pinhole, then more than one rays from a given point enters the pinhole camera, due to which two or more images may overlap, and this may form a diffuse or blurred image. You can see this on figure 11.15 A and B in your book. Now next thing that we have to discuss is reflection of light. What is reflection of light? When light falls on a smooth surface, it goes back from where it comes in the same medium. This process of sending back the light when it falls on a surface is called as reflection of light. Reflection of light depends upon the nature of the surface. If the surface is smooth, the reflection is more. Now we shall discuss some activities on reflection of light. The first activity is to show that shiny polished surfaces like mirrors reflect light better than other surfaces. For this you need a torch, a plain mirror and a book. And you also need the help of your some friends, one or two or more friends. Ask one of your friend to hold a mirror in his hand at one corner of the room, and ask the other friend to stand in the other corner of the room, and you also stand in another corner of the room with a torch in your hand. Switch on the torch and direct the beam of the on to the mirror that your friend is holding. Observe the beam of light on the other side. Adjust the direction of the mirror so that the beam of light falls on other friend standing in the dark room. Now do the same activity with a book instead of a mirror. What you will observe? You will observe that the beam of light after striking the mirror is reflected from the mirror. But when you use a book, no light is reflected. From this you conclude that shiny or well polished surfaces like mirror reflects light more easily and well. Dull surfaces like a book do not reflect light. Now second activity is to show the reflection of light by a plain mirror. For this you need a torch, a plastic comb, a large thermocol, a Fevikwik, a sheet of paper, and a mirror. You take a plastic comb with very fine teeth and fix it on one side of a large thermocol sheet with the help of a Fevicol. Now spread the sheet of paper on the thermocol and fix a mirror, pressing it in the thermocol sheet in an inclined position. You will observe that the light passing through the comb is straight lines. The light reflected by the mirror is also straight in line, showing a similar pattern. From this you can conclude that light reflects in a same line, and this is how reflection by a plane mirror takes place. Now, have you ever seen your image in front of a mirror? I think daily in the morning you must see your image. You stand in front of the mirror and you see yourself on the mirror now. If you hold your right ear, then in the mirror what do it appear? It will appear that you are holding your left ear. And if you hold your left ear, then in the mirror you will observe that you are holding your right ear. This left-right reversal of an object and its image is called as lateral inversion. Lateral inversion is a very common phenomenon, and many alphabets of the English language also shows lateral inversion. You can see in this diagram that B, C, D, E, not E, F, G, H, and many more alphabets like I, J, L, P, R, S, and Z. All these alphabets of the English language shows lateral inversion. Now we shall discuss about the difference between an image and a shadow. What is an image and what is a shadow? Image is your exact copy, how you look. When you in the morning, when you stand in front of the mirror, what do you see? You see your image. But when you go out in the morning and stand in the sun, the thing which always stays you is always beside you, a dark spot on the ground, that is your shadow. So the image is of the same color as the object, and the shadow is always dark regardless of the color of the object. Then the image gives all the details of the object, and the shadow shows only the outlines. The image undergoes lateral inversion and the shadow do not undergo lateral inversion. An image is formed when the light from the object reaches our eyes, and shadow is formed when the path of the light is blocked by an opaque object. This is all the difference between a image and a shadow. The size of the image is always the same of the object, and the size of the shadow becomes variable. It depends upon the distance between the source of the light and the object. This is all about the chapter which we have done.